I was sprinting through the sprawling chaos of the Denver Zine Fest, think a sweaty warehouse packed with inked-up weirdos, folding tables drowning in stapled manifestos and the faint whiff of patchouli and regret, when this guy in a tattered trench coat stepped right into my path. He was lugging a duffel bag the size of a small coffin, wheezing like he'd just run from the cops, and he had the audacity to yell, "Hey, you. Help me with this." I dodged him like he was a Jehovah's Witness with a clipboard, muttered a quick, "Sorry, man, gotta go," and kept hauling ass toward the exit. Next thing I know, he's bellowing across the room, "Selfish prick," loud enough to make a table of vegan poets look up from their haikus. Now I'm wondering if I'm the asshole here, or if he's just a nut job who doesn't get deadlines. Let me back up. I'm a 28-year-old freelance graphic designer, name's Riley, and I've been obsessed with zines since I found a crumpled one about alien linguistics in a coffee shop bathroom 5 years ago. It's my thing, my weird little escape from client emails and existential dread. The Denver Zine Fest is my Super Bowl, 2 days of trading, networking, and geeking out with other paper-obsessed freaks. I'd spent months prepping my latest project, a 24-page reso-printed fever dream about a sentient vending machine falling in love with a janitor. I'd even scored a last-minute collab with Juniper, this semi-famous zine queen who does glitchy collage art and smells like lavender and rebellion. She's 40, wears combat boots with sundresses, and has a laugh that sounds like a car backfiring. We'd agreed to swap prints and co-table, but she texted me that morning, "Running late, flat tire, be there by 2. Don't sell out of your stuff." It was 1:45, I had 7 copies left, and the line at my table was starting to look like a Black Friday mob. The fest was a sensory overload nightmare. Picture a repurposed brewery with exposed brick walls, flickering fluorescent lights, and a DJ blasting lo-fi beats over a busted PA system. People were everywhere, tattooed punks haggling over Xeroxed comics, a guy in a wizard hat selling cursed bookmarks, a girl with blue hair sobbing into her phone about a misprinted batch. My table was a mess, stacks of my zine, a half-eaten granola bar, a Sharpie with no cap, and a chipped mug of cold coffee I kept forgetting to drink. I was in the zone, chatting up buyers, trading for a reso-printed manifesto about Bigfoot's tax evasion schemes when I realized I hadn't eaten since 7 a.m. My stomach was growling louder than the DJ's bassline, and Juniper's text had me paranoid about running out of stock before she showed. So, at 1:50, I grabbed my backpack, yelled to my table neighbor, a quiet dude named Theo who makes zines about vintage typewriters, to watch my stuff, and bolted for the food truck outside. 5 minutes, in and out, that was the plan. That's when Trench Coat Guy happened. I was halfway across the warehouse, weaving through the crowd, when he lurched out from behind a table piled with anarchist pamphlets. He was maybe 50, with a scruffy beard and wild eyes, like he'd just crawled out of a dumpster behind a conspiracy convention. His duffel bag was this monstrous, sagging thing, black canvas, duct-taped straps, clinking like it was full of beer cans or loose change. He thrust it toward me and barked, "Help me carry this to my car. It's killing my back." I barely broke stride, tossing him a "can't, sorry" in a rush, as I kept moving. He didn't take it well. His face went red, veins popping, and he roared, "Selfish prick. What's wrong with you people?" Heads turned. A girl with a septum piercing snickered. Theo glanced up from his typewriter sketches, eyebrows raised like I'd just kicked a puppy. I made it outside, lungs burning, and beelined for the taco tornado truck. Grabbed a greasy Al Pastor taco, wolfed it down in 4 bites, and sprinted back inside by 1:57. Juniper was already at the table, her tire-smudged hands flipping through my zine, grinning like a kid on Christmas. "This is gold, Riley," she said, tossing me one of her glitchy prints. Crisis averted. But Trench Coat Guy wasn't done. He'd parked himself near the entrance, bag still at his feet, glaring at me like I'd stolen his kidney. Every time I looked up, there he was, muttering to anyone who'd listen, probably about the selfish prick who wouldn't help a struggling artist. I overheard him tell a goth chick with a sketchbook, "I've got a herniated disc," and that jerk just ran off. She nodded sympathetically, shooting me a dirty look. Here's where it gets messy. Part of me feels bad, maybe he really was hurt and I could have spared 30 seconds to help. The bag did look heavy and he was limping a little. But also, dude, it's a zine fest, not a charity haulathon. I didn't know him, I was on a mission, and he didn't exactly ask politely, he demanded like I owed him my spine. Plus, I've got my own problems, a deadline with Juniper, a growling stomach, and a table full of buyers who'd riot if I vanished too long. Theo told me later he saw the guy lugging that bag in earlier, no limp, no sweat, like it was no big deal, until he spotted me. Was he playing it up for pity? I don't know. Juniper laughed when I told her, saying, "Sounds like a performance art piece gone wrong." You're fine, kid. The rest of the day was a blur, sold out my zines, traded for some weird stuff, even got a selfie with Juniper for my Insta. But trench coat guy's outburst stuck with me. People kept whispering, pointing. Theo said he heard someone call me taco jerk behind my back. By the end, I was second-guessing myself hard. I could have helped, sure, but I didn't, and now I'm the villain in some stranger's story. Social media's no help. Half my zine crew says I'm NTA, half says I'm a dick for not being a good Samaritan. I just wanted to survive the fest, not star in a morality play. So Reddit, AITA for refusing to help that guy with his bag? Or was he out of line for screaming at me in a room full of artsy weirdos? So, I'm sitting in the middle of this bizarre pop-up sculpture garden, an abandoned lot in Detroit turned into a psychedelic maze of welded junk and neon paint, when this kid's shrieking starts ricocheting off the metal like a banshee on a sugar high. I'm 31, single, and just trying to sketch some rusty gears for my next welding project, but this child's volume is hitting decibels that could wake a coma patient. After 10 minutes of "Mommy, look, a bird. Mommy, it's loud. Mommy, I'm a dragon." I finally snap, look over at the mom, and say, "Hey, your kid's kinda loud, could you maybe tone it down?" She whips around, eyes blazing, and snaps, "He's a child, not a robot. You don't get to police us." Now I'm wondering if I'm the asshole for saying something, or if she's just mad I interrupted her TikTok scroll. Here's the deal, I'm Jude, a welder by trade, artist by obsession. I've been coming to this sculpture garden for months. It's a hidden gem, a half-acre of chaos where local metaheads and hippies dump their weirdest creations. Think twisted bike frames shaped into giant spiders, old car hoods painted with googly eyes, and a 10-foot-tall flamingo made of rebar and hubcaps. It's my sanctuary where I sketch ideas for my own stuff. Last week, I built a lamp out of a busted carburetor and some LED strips. I'm not some grumpy loner, I love the vibe here. There's always a mix of people, dog walkers, stoners, artsy teens taking selfies, but it's usually chill, a quiet hum of creativity. I've got my thermos of black coffee, my beat-up sketchbook, and my noise-canceling earbuds, which, spoiler, were dead that day. It's my reset after torching steel all week at the shop. The kid's mom wasn't some faceless stranger either. I'd seen her around, a wiry woman in her late 30s, always in yoga pants and a faded Red Wings hoodie, scrolling her phone while her son, maybe 5 or 6, ran wild. He's a tornado, curly hair, mismatched socks, and a voice that could shatter glass. I've watched him climb a rusted tractor sculpture and yell, "I'm king of the scrap," while she barely glances up. Normally, I don't care, kids are kids, but that day, I was fried. My boss had chewed me out for a botched weld on a custom gate. I'd slept maybe 4 hours and I just needed an hour of peace to sketch without my brain melting. The garden was emptier than usual, just me, a guy vaping by the spider, and this mom-kid duo. Perfect, I thought, until the dragon screams started. It hit a boiling point when the kid, let's call him Dragon Boy, decided to fly by sprinting circles around a pile of painted tires, hollering at the top of his lungs. His mom was perched on a bench 10 feet away, thumbing through her phone, oblivious. The noise wasn't just loud, it was relentless, echoing off the metal sculptures like a feedback loop. My pencil kept slipping midline, my coffee was cold, and I could feel a headache clawing up my skull. I tried glaring, coughing loudly, nothing. Finally, I stood up, walked halfway over, and said, calm as I could, "Hey, excuse me, your kid's kinda loud. Could you maybe keep it down a bit? I'm trying to focus." She dropped her phone in her lap, stared at me like I just spat in her coffee, and fired back, "He's playing. This is a public space, not your private studio. Who are you to tell me how to parent?" I blinked, caught off guard. "I'm not parenting, I'm just asking for a little quiet," I said, hands up like I was surrendering. Dragon Boy paused mid-roar, eyeing us, then bellowed, "Mommy, he's mean." She stood up, all 5'2" of her, and pointed a chip-nailed finger at me. "You don't get to interfere. He's a kid, not your problem. Go somewhere else if you're so sensitive." I laughed, nervous, not mocking, and said, "It's a park, not a daycare. I'm not the only one here." She scoffed, grabbed her kid's hand, and stormed off toward the flamingo, muttering, "Some people are unbelievable." Dragon Boy stuck his tongue out at me as they went. The aftermath was awkward as hell. Vaping guy, who'd watched the whole thing, wandered over, exhaling a cloud of mango mist. "Rough day, huh?" he said, smirking. "She's here all the time, lets him run feral. You're not wrong, but good luck winning that one." I sat back down, sketched a few shaky lines, but the vibe was wrecked. My phone buzzed, my buddy Marcus, a fellow welder, texting me a meme of a screaming toddler with "You at the park, RN?" He'd heard me vent about noisy kids before. I typed back, "Yep, just got roasted by a mom. AITA." He replied, nah, but she's not wrong either, public space, man. Great. I packed up early, feeling like a jerk and a martyr all at once. The kids' shrieks faded as they moved deeper into the maze, but I could still hear her voice in my head, accusing me of overstepping. I keep replaying it. On one hand, I get it, kids are loud, parks are free-for-alls, and maybe I should have just sucked it up or popped in my dead earbuds. She's a mom, probably stressed, and I'm some random dude barking orders. But also, isn't there a line? If your kid's turning a chill spot into a sonic war zone, shouldn't you at least try to rein it in? I wasn't rude, I didn't yell or curse, just asked. Now I'm the bad guy and vaping guys calling me sculpture grump behind my back. I just wanted an hour of peace, not a showdown. So, Reddit, AITA for telling that mom her kid was too loud, or was she right that I had no business butting in? I'm standing in the gleaming lobby of this co-working space in Austin, a glass and steel monstrosity that smells like overpriced coffee and startup dreams when I jab the elevator's close button like it's a video game. The doors are sliding shut. I'm already mentally halfway to my meeting when this guy, a red-faced, tie-flapping, sprinting like he's chasing a runaway taco truck, yells, "Hold it," from across the lobby. I hesitate for half a second, but I'm late. My phone's buzzing with my boss's "Where are you?" texts, and I let the doors snap closed. As the elevator hums upward, I hear him through the crack, "Rude asshole." Now I'm stuck wondering if I'm the jerk for leaving him in the dust or if he's just mad he didn't skip leg day. Here's the context. I'm Sam, 26, a junior copywriter at a boutique ad agency that's way too cool for cubicles. I've been at this job 6 months and I'm still proving myself. Think endless Slack pings, kombucha on tap, and clients who say disruptive like it's a personality trait. Our office is on the 9th floor of this trendy co-working building, shared with crypto bros, yoga influencers, and a dog-friendly podcast studio. It's a circus, but I love it mostly. That morning, I was running on fumes. My roommate's cat barfed on my laptop bag at 6 a.m., I missed my bus, and my cold brew spilled when I tripped over a skateboard some tech dude left in the lobby. By 9:57 a.m., I was cutting it razor close for a 10 a.m. pitch with a vegan skincare brand. My boss, Lena, a 35-year-old powerhouse who wears blazers like armor, had already texted me twice, "Sam, don't flake. This is big. No pressure, right?" The lobby that day was peak chaos. Picture a sunlit atrium with fake ferns, a barista station blasting lo-fi hip-hop, and a pack of freelancers arguing over who stole whose charging cable. I just dashed in, flashed my keycard at the turnstile, and made a beeline for the elevators. There are 4 of them, but only one was working. Classic Monday nonsense. A small crowd was already waiting, including Priya, a chill coder from the 7th floor who always wears Galaxy leggings and smells like mango vape. She gave me a sympathetic nod as I skidded to a stop, panting. "Rough morning?" she asked. "You don't know the half of it," I said, checking my phone. 9:58. The elevator dinged and I squeezed in with Priya and a guy in a fedora carrying a guitar case. Plenty of room, but I knew Lena would skin me alive if I was late. As the doors started closing, I saw him, running man, barreling through the lobby. He was maybe 40, in a rumpled suit, clutching a battered briefcase like it held state secrets. His face was tomato red, sweat beading on his forehead, and he was shouting, "Wait. Hold the door," loud enough to make fedora guy flinch. I froze, my finger hovering over the open button. Priya raised an eyebrow but didn't move. In that split second, I thought, I'm already late, Lena's gonna kill me, and this guy's not my problem. So I hit close instead. The door sealed shut just as he reached the elevator, his hand smacking the metal with a dull thud. As we started moving, his muffled voice carried through, "Rude asshole. Thanks for nothing." Priya snorted, muttering, "Dramatic much?" Fedora guy strummed an awkward chord on his guitar case. I got to the 9th floor at 10:01, slid into the meeting just as Lena was firing up her PowerPoint. Nailed the pitch, thank God. Client loved my tagline about ethical glow. But running man's yell was stuck in my head. After the meeting, I grabbed a kombucha from the office fridge and vented to Priya over Slack. She was in the cafeteria eating a burrito and messaged back, "LOL, he's probably just having a worse day than you. Elevators are war zones." Fair, but I couldn't shake it. By lunch, I'd overheard 2 podcast dudes in the hallway joking about that guy who ditched some poor suit in the elevator. Great, I'm office gossip now. I even checked the building's Reddit thread. Someone posted, AITA for being pissed at the jerk who didn't hold the elevator? Dude looked like he was late for his kid's recital or something. No replies, but I felt my stomach twist. Here's where I'm torn. I get it, elevators are a social contract. Holding the door is like basic decency. Maybe Running Man was late for something huge, a job interview, a court date, who knows. His briefcase looked heavy and he was struggling. 5 seconds could have saved him. But also, I was late too. My job was on the line and I don't know this guy from Adam. Why's it my job to play doorman? He didn't exactly scream please either, just barked orders like I'm his personal bellhop. Priya says I'm overthinking it, but Lena overheard me talking and said, Sam, don't be the guy who makes everything a race. Karma's a bitch. Now I'm paranoid I'm that guy. I just wanted to save my own skin, not start a lobby vendetta. So, Reddit AITA for not holding the elevator for that running dude, or was he out of line for yelling at me like I ruined his life? I'm weaving through the sticky, neon-lit madness of a late-night food truck rally in Portland. Think grease-soaked air, fairy lights strung between lampposts, and a crowd of hipsters clutching overpriced bao buns. When this dude's blaring trap music hits me like a brick to the face. It's 11 p.m. I'm wiped from a double shift, and all I want is a damn falafel before I collapse into my bed 3 blocks away. The guy's parked on a folding chair by the curb, phone cranked to max, bass thumping so hard I can feel it in my teeth. I snap, march over, and say, hey man, can you turn that down? It's killing me. He looks up, eyes bleary and slurs. You're killing my vibe, lady. Ruin someone else's day. Now I'm wondering if I'm the asshole for Hershing his buzz or if he's just a jerk with a speaker. I'm Tara, 29, a barista and part-time pottery nut who's lived in this artsy corner of Portland for 4 years. My life's a blur of espresso shots, clay-stained aprons, and dodging rent hikes. The food truck rally is my Friday ritual, a roving circus of taco trucks and vegan donut stands that sets up every week near my apartment. It's chaotic but glorious. You've got the chow guy hollering specials, a fire juggler tossing flaming batons for tips, and a pack of skateboarders weaving through the crowd like they own the place. I usually love the noise, it's alive, messy, mine. Tonight, though, I was a zombie. I'd pulled a 6 a.m. opening shift at the coffee shop, then spent 5 hours glazing mugs at the studio because a gallery order was due Monday. My hands were cramped, my back ached, and my brain was fried from a customer screaming about oat milk foam. The rally was in full swing when I stumbled in. The air smelled like cumin and fryer oil, and a line snaked around Falafel Fiesta, my holy grail. I was shuffling toward it, half dead, when the music hit. This guy, let's call him Trap Lord, was sprawled out like a king, chair tipped back, a solo cup of something suspiciously neon in his hand. He was maybe 25, rocking a tie-dye tank top and a man bun that looked like it hadn't seen a brush in weeks. His phone was propped on a pizza box, blasting some auto-tuned rapper yelling about dripping in sauce. It wasn't just loud. It was everywhere, drowning out the juggler's whoops and the chow guy's megaphone. People nearby were wincing, but no one said a word. I tried to ignore it, got in line, but the bass kept rattling my skull. After 5 minutes of torture, I'd had it. I stepped out of line, walked over, and planted myself in front of him. Hey, I said, voice sharp but not yelling, can you turn that down? It's late, and some of us are just trying to eat. He squinted up at me, swaying a little, and smirked. What's your deal? It's a party, not a library. I crossed my arms, patience gone. Yeah, well, your party's giving me a migraine. Just lower it, please. He laughed. A wet, sloppy sound, and cranked the volume up a notch. You're killing my vibe, lady. Go ruin someone else's day. I stared, dumbfounded, as he took a swig from his cup and waved me off like I was a pesky fly. A couple nearby, tattooed 20-somethings with kombucha cans, giggled, and I felt my face burn. I didn't back down right away. Seriously, I said louder now. You're not the only one here. He shrugged, eyes half closed. Public street, free country. Deal with it. I wanted to snatch his phone and chuck it into the falafel fryer, but instead, I stormed back to the line, fuming. The couple kept snickering, and I overheard one mutter, she's got a stick up her ass. I got my falafel, scarfed it under a flickering street lamp, and trudged home, the trap beat still echoing in my ears. My roommate, Kai, a lanky DJ who spins at dive bars, heard me venting and cackled. Tara, you're such a buzzkill sometimes. But yeah, he sounds like a dick. By morning, I saw a blurry Instagram story from the rally. Traplord's chair, his phone, captioned, "Some Karen tried to shut me down lol. Great, I'm a meme now. I can't stop replaying it. Sure, it's a public space. Dude's got a right to his music and maybe I came off like a nag. He was drunk, vibing, living his best sloppy life. But also, it's 11 p.m. on a residential street. There's an unspoken rule. Don't blast your crap so loud it feels like a personal attack. I wasn't polite, but I wasn't screaming either, just asked, then pushed when he doubled down. Kai says I should have let it go, but my neighbor Mrs. Lopez, 70, chain smokes on her stoop, heard me rant and said, "He's the asshole, Mija. No respect." Now I'm stuck. Was I a selfish grump? Or was he a selfish loudmouth? So, Reddit, AITA for telling that guy to turn off his music? Or was he right that I ruined his night? I'm hunched over a wobbly table in this tiny, steam-filled ramen joint in Seattle. Rain slamming the windows like it's auditioning for a disaster movie. When I spot a beat-up umbrella leaning against the wall by the door. It's 8 p.m., I'm soaked from a bus stop sprint, and my phone's weather app is screaming torrential downpour for the next hour. No one's claimed the thing in the 30 minutes I've been slurping noodles, so I grab it on my way out, figuring it's fair game. 2 days later, I'm back at the same spot, umbrella in hand, when this woman storms up, points at it, and hisses, "That's mine. You stole it." Now I'm wondering if I'm the asshole for snagging a lost umbrella, or if she's nuts for thinking I'm a master thief. I'm Elliot, 24, a bike courier who spends half my life dodging puddles, and the other half praying my tires don't blow out. I live in a shoebox apartment with a leaky skylight and a roommate who hoards vintage Game Boys. This ramen joint, Hero's Noodle House, is my lifeline. It's a cramped hole in the wall near the waterfront, all fogged up glass and chipped red stools, with a neon open sign that flickers like it's on life support. The owner, Hero, is a gruff 60-something dude who chain smokes out back and yells at you if you don't finish your broth. I go there 3 nights a week for the cheap tonkatsu and the vibe. Punk kids swapping zines, dock workers arguing about the Mariners, a stray cat napping under the counter. That night, I just finished a brutal shift, delivering soggy packages in a storm that turned my socks into sponges. No umbrella, because mine snapped in half last week during a wind gust. The place was buzzing when I got there. A girl with pink hair was doodling on a napkin. 2 old guys were slurping miso in the corner, and Hero was barking at someone about chopstick etiquette. I slid into my usual spot, ordered my ramen, and watched the rain turn the street into a river. That's when I saw the umbrella. Black, bent ribs, a duct-taped handle. It was propped by the door, dripping a puddle onto the tile. No tag, no owner in sight. I kept an eye on it while I ate, expecting someone to grab it. Nothing. By the time I paid, leaving a crumpled 5 in Hero's tip jar, the rain was biblical, and my walk home was a solid 15 minutes. I hesitated, glanced around, then thought, screw it, it's abandoned. I snatched it, popped it open outside, and trudged home, dryish for once. Fast forward to Wednesday. I'm back at Hero's, same table, same ramen craving. The umbrella's tucked under my arm. I'd been using it all week, calling it my rain MVP. The place is quieter this time. Just me, pink hair doodling again, and a woman at the counter sipping tea. She's maybe 30, in a soaked raincoat with a buzz cut and a glare that could melt steel. I'm halfway through my bowl when she stands, walks over, and jabs a finger at my umbrella. "That's mine," she says, voice low and sharp. "You stole it from here Monday." I freeze, chopsticks midair. What? I found it. It was just sitting there. She scoffs. "I left it for like 5 minutes to use the bathroom. Came back, gone. Saw you walk out with it." I blink, broth dripping onto my shirt. "It was there for half an hour, no one claimed it. I didn't steal anything. She wasn't having it. That's my umbrella. I've had it for years. Look, the tape's mine." She grabs it, points at the duct tape like it's DNA evidence. I stammer, okay, but it looked lost. I didn't see you. Her face twists. So you just take stuff? That's stealing, dude. Hero glances over, eyebrows up, but doesn't intervene. Classic. Pink hair stops doodling, watching like it's a reality show. I try to explain. It was pouring, I was soaked. I figured it was fair game. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. She cuts me off, snatching the umbrella. Keep your sorry. Next time, ask. She storms out, leaving me with cold ramen and a table of onlookers whispering. I sat there, stunned. Hero shuffled over later, grunting. She's here a lot. Forget stuff. You're fine, kid. Pink hair slid me a napkin sketch of an umbrella with devil horns. Smirking. Rough break. I texted my roommate, Jay, the whole story. He replied, LOL, you're a klepto now? But yeah, her bad for leaving it. I couldn't shake the guilt, though. I mean, it was hers, and I took it without asking. But it sat there forever, and I wasn't creeping around picking pockets. I just needed to not drown. Now I'm Umbrella Bandit in my own head. And Pink Hair's probably selling that sketch on Etsy. So, Reddit, AITA for taking that lost umbrella from the cafe? Or was she overreacting by calling me a thief?